Hey guys, what is up? It's Kat here. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me today. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and we're filming our review for Book of Boba Fett episode 4. I really love that they are not holding back with the episode lengths. We've already had 2 40+ minute episodes in this season, which is what I was hoping for from this show, which is only going to be 7 episodes long. So they are not holding back when it comes to episode length, which I'm super thrilled about, and I feel like it's suiting the story very well because you want to have an equal balance of past, flashbacks, explanations, while also of course developing the conflict at hand. I feel like we're still on the cusp of the central conflict here that is about to ensue, this war on Tatooine, but I have a feeling now that the flashbacks are probably wrapped up now that we've seen how Boba comes to unite with Fennec Shand, how he stumbles across her corpse, and I just loved all of the planning behind that and into this show, the way that they incorporated the mods. I think I said during my reaction, I originally thought that the mods were not fitting in the aesthetic of this show in terms of they just seemed like different characters compared to Boba and Fennec. I really love that Boba and Fennec are established older bounty hunters. They're more sage, they're more wise, and this was just a group of angsty kids who want to just take apart their bodies. It felt like just a strange dynamic, those two groups uniting together and working with each other. I mean, I didn't question it, but this episode, I just loved how it tied in why Boba had so much respect towards the mods and why he did reach out to them to offer them employment, and it's because it's literally the mods that put Fennec Shand back together. I love the explanation behind that because all this time I've truly been so confused as to how he was able to do that and whether he put her back together with all those mechanics himself, because I didn't think he was equipped with that kind of knowledge. So I just love the planning that went into this to introduce the mods, and then you learn that that's how Fennec Shand came to be resurrected. I really loved the sequence of events and the discovery there and the way that it all makes sense and makes the mods feel like a more relevant and applicable character to the storyline. And of course, I also just loved seeing Fennec and Boba's relationship develop and seeing how he was able to get her to be so loyal to him. But I can't shrug off this feeling, and it's from the previous episode when Boba is in his bacta chamber and Chrysanthemum is somehow just able to break in there. I couldn't get over or try to justify how this giant ass Wookiee was able to sneak in with nobody watching. Boba doesn't have constant protection watching him. I know Fennec Shand isn't just there to protect him and be his bodyguard, they're sidekicks, but I just was legitimately confused as to why it was taking her so long to respond to that issue at hand. Boba's literally dying and even the angsty teens got there first, before Fennec. Is her room on the complete opposite side of the palace? That's the only explanation I could think of as to why she would have gotten there so delayed. And I can't shrug that. It's been a week and I couldn't shrug that. Coming off of that, going into this episode, which focuses heavily on Fennec Shand's not only resurrection, but her linking up with Boba Fett and the kind of development of their loyalty and their allegiance with each other. I don't know. Somebody call me out if this is just completely out of the blue, completely unwarranted, but I'm beginning to worry that they are building up this super awesome team that I love and adore. I think that they have an incredible charisma, an incredible team dynamic. They're both badasses in their own right, and they don't take away from each other's individual bossness. But I'm so just worried that they're building us up. Maybe I'm just scarred because they spent an entire episode getting us attached to the Tusken Raiders and then only to kill them all off in the following episode. So maybe I'm just shaken up by that, and now I just can't trust anything that they're doing to develop character relationships and friendships. But I have some weird trepidations that Fennec is going to betray Boba. I don't know why, and again, call me out. I hope this isn't what happens. I'm not saying I want this to be the case. But I just have some weird like suspicion, especially because there was so much emphasis on the foundation of her allegiance with him and her service of him, and she's technically like not fully like bound to his service. Like she did fulfill the one act that was part of their initial deal that she said she would do, helping him reclaim his ship, which was awesome to see him reunited with it. I don't know, I just feel like the emphasis on that could be foreshadowing. She even said herself, like she works for the highest like bidder, like she's a freelancer, like she can't be bound, and I feel like the Pikes might like get to her, like she could be working like a double agent. I don't know, please somebody just call me out and tell me that I'm like so wrong for thinking this and that I should just like obliterate this thought entirely from my head. Please, I'm telling you to tell me that I'm wrong. Like, I don't know, let me know if anybody else feels like it could be going down that path, or if we're all just like scarred still from like the Tusken Raiders getting killed off. But yeah, overall I just thought this episode was so much fun. I didn't even think that we were going to get the full backstory as to how Boba encountered and resurrected Fennec Shan, but I'm not complaining. Like, that was so much fun to watch. So much fun to get that backstory and then to just go on and see how that affects them in the present, their dynamic. Again, the deal that she makes with him to serve each other and to be loyal to each other, which is something that neither of them have ever had. And I also really loved like her straight up calling him out and saying what a lot of people in the fandom have been saying, which is that he has gone soft. Being with the Tusken Raiders, I was not of that ilk, and I just absolutely love his response, which is I haven't gone soft. If anything, living amongst the Tusken Raiders has only made me stronger and more powerful, and this is exactly what I wanted. And I loved hearing him admit like he doesn't need to be ferocious and merciless to frighten people or to get people to do what he wants or to be commanding. Like, he doesn't need to rely on fear like that. As he said, he doesn't want to roll with fear. He doesn't need it. He is badass in his own right, and he knows it, and he can tap into it at any second. I don't want to just see him using fear like as a constant tactic. He doesn't need to tap into frightening people and wreaking havoc and terror and being the super like merciless bounty hunter in order to do that. I'm not saying I don't want to see him tap into that side. I'm sure we will, because I heavily believe that the Pikes were involved with the obliteration of his Tusken tribe. Like, I truly think that he has a deeper vendetta against them, or that we're gonna find out somehow in the flashbacks, or that he's gonna find out in the present day that it was the Pikes who gave the order to burn down the Tusken tribe and kill them all. Like, there's no question. They had something to do with it. Even Fennec Shan's shock and disbelief at the fact that that speeder gang could have taken out an entire tribe of Tuskens in their own territory, like, that alludes to the fact that it probably is deeper than that. There's probably more going on, and the Pikes were probably involved. I want that to be where Boba completely just loses it. Like, even seeing him take out that speeder gang, just stone cold, straight-faced, no emotion whatsoever, but you can tell his acting in that scene was literally incredible. Like, Tamora Marson's performance in this entire show has been phenomenal, but his acting in that scene in particular was just like, it was perfect. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's stone cold, and he will literally kill you with like the straightest face, like ice in his veins, like not even fazed by it. And that's the Boba Fett that I want to see. And I also just loved that this episode gave the explanation to something that I had been wondering, but I didn't even think we were gonna get backstory as to why things went down this way. But I was curious as to where his hatred for Bib Fortuna had come from, like why he just decided to just assassinate him. I had been so curious as like what the motivation was behind just killing Bib Fortuna. No questions asked, just to take Jabba's throne. And so I liked hearing more about his intentions behind that and how he wants to revamp the throne. I was hoping that they were gonna dive a little bit more into the war with the Pikes in this episode, but again, since we focused more heavily on flashbacks this time around, I'm hoping that we see more of that ensue in the following episodes when Mando's gonna show up. Like, that's gonna be so fun. Oh my gosh, the trio of him, Fennec, and Boba Fett, like, I want to see them all in action again, because they are each so boss in their own way, but they all bring something different to the table. They all have their special weapons and characteristics and fighting styles, and it's just, they work perfectly together. Like, I'm so excited to see them all taking names again. Overall, I thought this episode was super fun. I want more content. I want more of this show. I've been enjoying it so far. Like, I I think I just love how this show has been acting like the glue to fill in the gaps and the questions that we've had in regards to stuff that we've seen in Mandalorian. I'm just feeling really satisfied about the answers that it has been giving us and the way that it's been telling this story. So I'm gonna go pass out. I'm so tired. I took a nap before watching the episode and that was really not a good idea. I think it made it worse. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sorry I literally have to close my eyes because I'm that exhausted and my lights are so bright. Okay, I would love to hear your guys' predictions for the remainder of the show. We've only got 3 episodes left, which is a really sad thought. So we're coming down to the wire here. I would love to hear your guys' predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. May the force be with you guys always. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.